What's up, guys? This is Los and Anthony here with the MalcoCast. Our apologies, guys. We haven't posted a video lately, and that's because it's been, about 4 days into a cold, and I've been congested, and today has been, um, kind of good. As you can see, we're still, uh, not in the studio today. We're here on Google Meet. We use Google Meet to record this podcast. But thank you guys for joining us today. Today, Anthony and I, what are we going to be reviewing today, Anthony?
I guess we're going to give a review on Korn's new album, Requiem.
Right, and this album was released, what, 2 weeks ago, I want to say, a week and a half ago?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, and Anthony and
Or
I.
maybe a week ago. I could be wrong. Was it last week?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was last week.
February 4th. February 4th,
February
maybe.
4th. Okay, that makes sense to me. Now, being big Korn fans, Anthony and I, we jumped right on this because, of course, it's Korn, and who doesn't love Korn? um, but Anthony, do you know what Requiem means?
I do not know what Requiem means. What does it mean?
I'm glad you asked. Requiem means an act or token done in remembrance of something or someone. And it also means a composition of music in remembrance. It's typically a composition of music that you would want played at your funeral.
Oh.
I know, right? Pretty bright subject matter here. So as we said, Requiem was released about a week ago, and it's relatively a short album, right?
Yeah, I hate that trend, dude. I hate the trend of these short albums. I don't know. I'm a traditionalist, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we want more music, but this one only has 9 songs on it. I think you were telling me.
Yeah, but 9 songs, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 32 minutes of music, of new Korn music. And it's a little surprising given their previous releases certainly have not been, under an hour of music. And it was just, I don't know. Why do you think that they did that?
Dude, I just think it's the way of the world. I think it's the way of the industry. I think it's nothing, people don't write long songs anymore.
Yeah.
If you're going over 4 minutes, that's too long. Like look at every song on this album. I think the longest one was just over 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
It's probably a commentary of the attention spans of people nowadays.
yeah, for sure.
Everyone's always distracted with their phones, and I'm kind of like the same way. I'll be watching a movie, and if it's boring, I'll look on my phone to see any messages I have or whatever. So
For sure.
and I know everybody does that, but let's get into the songs here now. If you've been following our podcast, you know that we have done reaction videos to 2 of these songs. The first one that we did was "Start the Healing," and the other one that we did was for "Forgotten." So we're not going to talk too much about those songs, but we will link them to this video so you can see our reactions to them. But overall, I think that "Start the Healing" was a very strong song. It was one of my favorites on the album. I think that it's an iconic, classic Korn song. Love the breakdown, love the message, starting the healing. And in retrospect, after listening to the whole album, it fits very well into the theme that the guys are going for. Now, I know you want to talk a little bit about your thoughts of "Start the Healing."
I still dig that song. I'm the same as you. I think it's one of the better songs on the album.
Yeah.
Where I differ from you is I feel like with that song, they were going in a different direction musically there. I don't feel like it's classic Korn. Like I feel like it's they got something new going on in that song, and
Hmm.
I think that's why I really like that song more than some of the others on the album. Is
Oh,
because it sounds like a different musical style to me.
it sounded different. Yeah, I can see how that is. I mean, the whole album, and then we'll get into that too. I mean, the whole album was a little bit different, right? But the other song that we reacted to, "Forgotten," which is the title track on Requiem, it didn't wow us.
Well,
It
it's not
didn't.
the title track; it's the opening track. You
Right.
know.
Well, the opening act,
Yeah.
the first song on the album, if you will, "Forgotten." This is the one that's supposed to grab you and make you want to listen to the rest of them. But I don't think that we were impressed with this one too much.
I still feel the same way about that song that I did when we did the reaction video. It still really doesn't. That song still doesn't really do anything for me too much. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can listen to it, and for me, there's nothing behind it. So
Well, I don't want to discount their work entirely. There are some good aspects of the song, but I think that the most disappointing part of the song, for me at least, was the bass. It's not the corn bass that I'm kind of used to hearing. It was just, I don't know, a little bit more pulled back, scaled back, if you will. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't a banger.
no.
It was a mediocre effort.
From what I read up on, though, those are field. That is Fieldy playing bass on the album.
Yeah, and it's surprising to me because, you know, we had talked about this is that Fieldy is recovering right now.
Yeah.
He's got some substance abuse issues that he's trying to fight off, and we were kind of wondering between us that is he playing bass on this album? So yeah, you confirmed that though.
I looked it up and I did some research on it, and um, everything I read is that these bass lines were done before he went on his hiatus.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. So yeah, it must have been they must have had it completed before they went on tour in the summer.
yeah.
But anyways, the second song on the new album is called "Let the Dark Do the Rest." Let the Dark Do the Rest. What an amazing title. What an amazing title. I just want to say that right off the bat. This song was, one of my favorite songs on the album as well. I love the title, as I mentioned, not to be redundant or anything. But I like the riff. The riff was nice and dark. It had a great verse and chorus riff. I think it melded, really well.
Mhm.
It sounded like good mosh pit music to me, and who doesn't love good mosh pit music? And to top it all off, I think the lyrical content, it fit, again, it fit really well with the theme that they're going here.
See, it's funny because I thought that song was, and for me also, I just felt that that song was okay.
Yeah.
Like it didn't. I mean, it was obviously good enough to where I listened to it. I went on to the next song. I didn't stop listening to the album. You know, like
Hmm.
but that one didn't really grab me either, man. Like I kind of felt like it was. I'm like you. I don't want to bag on the creativity, but
Hmm.
I love Korn, dude. But in some ways, like I need to hear the song just didn't do that song just didn't do anything for
Yeah.
me
No, it
either.
didn't. Okay. Well, I thought that was one of the bangers that I thought was on the album, and it's totally okay. If you guys disagree with our opinions, we welcome that. As a matter of fact, we want to know what your opinions are in the comments of this video. So one of the songs that surprised me, which was the next track, was the "Lost in Grandeur" song, which was, to me, it was a total heartbreak song. And yeah, I'm used to a Corn that's all about, all day long I dream about sex and, a cheap fuck to lay, all that stuff. But this one seemed more of like a heartbreak song, right? Did you get that out of
which
that?
which in some ways is like I wrote on my notes here about this song. Like this song to me was classic Korn. Like when I heard this song, I was like the sound, kind of some of the lyrical emotion, like some like that was classic Korn. I was like, okay, like
Hmm.
I dug that song right off the bat because it had a familiarity to me, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So
even the lyrical content though, the whole like, he's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like asking for her back maybe. He has these delusions
well,
or
I'm sure that's
feelings.
something like I mean, I don't know. I've lost a few people in my life.
Hmm.
Nothing ever like that, but isn't that something that you would want? Like you're begging, like for her back. Like those are some
Yeah.
emotions that you go through in the grieving process.
It's a life experience track. You can totally tell that there's some life experience behind that. And
Yeah,
yeah, I know. I mean, the Corn of 1999, 98, 99 is not the same Corn of the year 2022, obviously. But
no.
no, I thought that was a good song. I was surprised by it just because I don't think I've heard too many Corn heartbreak songs. I mean, they're usually just kind of like angry and uh, you know promiscuous kind of songs. But
Oh no, you got to go back, man. You got to go back and listen to some of those older albums. There's some heartbreak songs in there.
yeah,
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 there's
fair enough.
actually their first album. A lot of that's heartbreak
Yeah.
or just hurt in general.
It's
So.
people, yeah, I mean they can relate to that kind of stuff, and
Mhm.
everybody has a story of heartbreak in their life. So let me see. So disconnect was another one of the songs on
I
there.
thought that song was pretty heavy, man. Like the breakdown of that song was sick, dude. Like, see, it's funny because this part of their album, from like this part of the album on, that it really caught me. Like where I was like the song's called Disconnect, but it actually connected me because I was like, when I heard the breakdown on that song, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, well let's see what else they got going on. So yeah, this is actually where
right.
the album took off for me.
Yeah, I like the whole. I think that the dark and light concept of the song really works. It's a bit of self-reflection. The band has
Yeah,
the band has been through a lot, and it shows in this album. So they're kind of telling their story in their own way with these songs, I think, and
right.
and it's been such a long road for them. I mean, they say like the pain I have I can't conceal. The hurt inside is so real, and you kind of wonder like what do you guys have to be like pained about? I mean, you guys are rock stars, but in reality those guys have been
Nah,
through
man,
been through a lot. There have been deaths and like divorces and substance abuse and a whole bunch of
yeah.
different things happening to them. So right right up to hopeless and beaten. The only thing I wrote for this one is that there was a death metal like chorus. um the song fits in the whole requiem theme of hopeless and beaten. So I don't know, what did you think of that one?
I could totally be full of shit right now, and that's okay. To me, I thought this was the best song on the album.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was their most creative song. And I think they showed a lot of different sides of themselves on this song. I thought it was. I think it's a great song.
Hmm.
It's the longest song on the album.
Oh yeah,
This
okay.
one that's over 4 minutes long. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed that song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one because
yeah.
some of these songs you hear them initially and you write your first impressions down,
Mhm.
but you don't start liking them until you listen to them over and over and over again. And then after listening to them over and over again, you start liking them more. Or it's the total opposite. You're like, forget the song. I'm gonna skip it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the next song, Penance to Sorrow, for me it was getting kind of more into the whole depression uh hole. You know, we were kind of diving, excuse me, diving deeper down into the whole feelings of depression and despair in this band. It was a little dark and depressing, so I didn't get too much out of the song.
See, I wish I would have delved a little bit more into the lyrics like you did, because I really didn't. I listened to this. I was listening to the songs as a whole, so like I think it's a good song musically. I thought it was a. I thought that was another good song. Like the second half of this album, for me, like I said, was I really enjoyed
Hmm.
the second half of the album.
Yeah.
I just yeah, I'm a little disappointed in myself. I should have read the lyrics more.
Well, yeah, I mean, I listened to it all too, but I know I connect with the songs through the lyrics, I think, mostly.
Yeah,
Um,
you're a singer.
I'm a singer, right?
Yeah,
Now,
I listened to the riffs like, and I was focusing on the music. You know.
yeah, the arrangements and stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you're a guitar player.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so the last two songs on there I thought were bangers as well. My Confession is the Anthony Davis that I know and love. The vocal pattern, the
Jonathan Davis.
what did I say? Anthony
Anthony
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah, I'm thinking of you, Jonathan Davis.
Hey,
Not
wait! I got a correction to make though. "Hopeless and Beaten" isn't the longest song of that album, so I stand corrected on that.
okay.
Anyways, go
That's noted for the record.
ahead.
So my confession was Jonathan Davis rapping at his best. I love that song. I think that one is probably my favorite on the album.
Dude, it's crazy because on my notes, I wrote I didn't like this song at first. The first time I heard it, I was like, I don't know. And then I went back and listened to it, and I was like, you know what? This is a sneaky good song. Like going back and listening to it, like, yeah, I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of hooky, kind of, yeah, it's sneaky good.
I liked it. I liked the death metal chorus. I liked the riffs that they were using. Um, there's nothing to complain about the song, I think. And then the worst is on its way. At first, I didn't like that song. I didn't like it. I thought it was um I thought after listening into it over and over again though, I think it's catchy now. The chorus is catchy. I love the riffs that they used. Um I love the whole you know how Jonathan Davis does that waka, you know, kind of stuff that he does. Like I heard it on this song and I was like, yeah, yeah, I like that. That's like the same thing that he did you know, that he has been doing on his albums, and so it was a good throwback on there.
For well, yeah, for and on my notes, I wrote that the same thing. I enjoyed that he brought that back. You know, like I thought that was some. I mean, I don't know what that shit is called. You
The
know,
boom,
like,
like he's barking almost.
but that's part of his style. That's part of his mojo, and I felt like that song had the classic Korn sound. It had parts of it had the classic Korn darkness because they've always had like this dark overtone.
Yeah,
You know, that was the longest song on the album, and I thought that was actually. I love the title of that song. The worst is
the worst is
on
on
its
its way.
way. Dude. Like I. So is that like a leaving it like a cliffhanger for the next album? You know, like
Yeah,
like is that going to be the worst? You know, like or I don't know. To me it was like a cliffhanger, dude. Like it was like to leave you with suspense for the next album. I
yeah,
don't know.
no,
I could be totally wrong.
that's a very interesting theory, dude. Yeah, I mean, the worst is on its way. I'd never thought of it like that. I never did, but I think overall, I thought this is a good album. My only complaints, and they're not really complaints. I think that there's just more like things that I noticed is that it's short. and uh the bass, it wasn't as like, I don't know what how to describe the
It
bass.
wasn't as prominent as it has been in the past.
Right. And crunchy, snappy, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
And maybe this was their, and Justice for All. They buried it in the mix, like they
Maybe.
buried the bass in the mix, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. What are your what would you say your takeaways are about Requiem?
I think this is a good album. I've listened to it, a few more times. The production on it is great. Like, man, like if you put on headphones and listen to it, you can hear like every little single detail. Like, so I think the production is really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a go-to for me. Like I don't like rush to listen to it, but I'll put it on from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I mean, there were three songs out of the nine that I connected. So it's the album is about nine songs, right? So I like the third of the songs. A third of the
Not unless
songs
you get the
rock.
Japan version, then they have a bonus track on the Japan version.
Oh, that's correct. Yes, I'm glad that you mentioned that because there is a version that was released in Japan that has an extra song on it. So maybe we can do that for a future reaction video. But anyways, guys, we want to know in the comments what you thought of Korn's Requiem. I've seen everything online from this is their best album to this is their worst and everything in between. So I think that it's gotten mixed
I think you
reviews.
get that with. I think you get that every time Korn puts out an album, though.
Yeah.
When people, oh, this is their best album. No, it's the worst album. I like.
Make up your minds.
Right.
Now, I know I saw one YouTube video that said, is this the most boring Korn album ever? And I wouldn't call it the most boring. It's
No,
certainly not my favorite, but I mean, I think it's good for what it is.
you can go back to their dubstep album.
Dubstep. Yeah, no, I think I'll pass on
Yeah,
the
I'm good.
dubstep stuff. Anyways, guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of Requiem, and don't forget to
Hit the
give
subscribe button. Hit
yeah,
the subscribe button.
hit it, just boom, right there.
We're
And
what, 27 away from 300 subscribers?
yes, and we appreciate everybody who has been subscribing and commenting on our videos. It really supports us, and we thank you guys. And thank you guys for hanging out with us on today's episode of the MalcoCast. We will see you next time. Peace.